Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Python Freaks. So today's video is not about any skill or any technology. Rather it's about a fact which is very misinterpreted and a lot of hype has been created about it. So as you might have seen the title by now, so today we are gonna talk about the future prospect of software testing, and we are gonna discuss about few of the rumors and misleading information which is being spread with respect to software testing. So, without any further delay, let's start the video. So, let me start the video with this three screenshot which I just casually took today from LinkedIn. So, the first keyword which I searched was test automation job, and there was some 42k plus result, and you can see the same in the first screenshot as well. Then the second keyword which I searched for QA jobs, and there were some again 23k plus result only in India. And then I just casually searched for Google, and there were just 3 plus job posted in last 24 hours. Only in 24 hours Google posted some 3 jobs specific to test automation. So my motive to show this data is these are just 3 straightforward keyword which I just casually searched on LinkedIn, and this was the result which I got. Now there are various other keywords with respect to test automation software testing, and there are various platform as well other than LinkedIn. And apart from this, there are many underlying jobs openings which the HR is procuring by his own means. So you can understand the number of requirement currently which a test automation or QA engineering is having. Now let's move to the next part of the video. There are few frequent questions which I often get on Quora and LinkedIn with respect to software testing. So let's try to discuss these questions. So first, let's try to understand, are these questions even valid, or what is the are these questions even legitimate or not? Okay. So the first question is software testing a dead end job? Software testing is gradually dying. All the software testing jobs will be automated in the near future. Then we'll discuss a little bit about the career prospect of software testing with respect to salary, and what is the future prospect of software testing. So we'll discuss about all these questions, and we'll try to give you a clear picture and in a very simple way. So, before I start answering this question, I would like to mention that I myself is working in software testing industry for last 7 years, and have a mixed experience in working both service based and product based company. In and all these all these 7 years is in test automation only. So based on the current trend, I have no such plans to switch to any development project apart from software testing. I will stick to software testing even though I have an option where I can move to development project. Now, why I am discussing this point? Because I don't agree a bit with the statement that software testing is a dead end job, or it has reached to its maturity. It's actually the other way around. Software testing is blooming like anything. It's a very fruitful and actually a very underrated career prospect in IT industry. In today's era, where everyone is talking about AI, data science, machine learning, web development, Angular, and other jargon, software testing is actually the most underrated career prospect. So, if you ask me, is software testing a dead end job? My answer will be a big no. It's actually the other way around. It's blooming like anything. The only thing is, like in today, we are too much driven with the fancy advertisement that we see with respect to data science, machine learning, and AI. Nothing else, because we are too much driven by this social media content and advertisement. But software testing is a very fruitful career. Now let's come to the question: why people are considering software testing as a dead end job? Now, if you take a timeline of a decade, we will see the overall development process, that is job specific to coding, has not evolved. like it has evolved, but not as the way the testing has evolved. Reason is the cutthroat competition and the humongous amount of data which has forced organization to test every aspect of it. For example, what are the things that we used to test, let's say a 5 years back? We mostly used to verify the functionality, and we used to verify the performance of it. That's it. Now, is the same kind of testing being done today also? The answer is no. There are various other ways in which a product is tested today. For example, there is something called as resiliency testing or chaos testing, which we are doing to test how application or software behaves under a certain created stress or some chaotic environment, which we are specifically creating it, and we verify how the software reacts to it. Now, there's also a specific type of testing which is like developed in the recent time, which is called availability testing. Now, what we are doing here is we are running an application for a planned period of time. We are collecting the failure events, repair times, and comparing the availability percentage to the original SLAs, like service level agreement. Likewise, there are plenty of new strategies and testing ways which is enhanced at a very rapid pace. So, bottom line is, if there is so much of transitions is happening in a particular stream, how can we call that as a dead stream or a dead end? So, bottom line is, testing is not a dead end job. It's actually the other way around. The bandwidth of testing is increasing day by day, and it's not the only thing is we are not very much aware about it. So that's why we are just very much misled by this like by this various fact, like software testing is a dead end job. Now there's also a rumor that all the testing jobs will be automated in future. Now, two simple question here: who will automate these tests, and post automation, who will monitor or verify that these tests are running fine? Yes, to some extent, I agree that yes, most of the jobs in today's environment is being automated. But is automation testing only about writing some test script in Python or Java? Answer is no. Software testing is a whole bunch of critical activity taken care which before actual writing the code, like identifying the scenarios, boundary value analysis, which are the positive test case, which are the negative test case, and many other things like that. So this cannot be done by any individual until and unless he is experienced in specific testing domain or has a good amount of knowledge in testing that particular application or product. Now, there is also a connecting question to this. With this particular topic, that in future there will be only one profile, which is developer, who will be responsible for testing also and developing his code also. Now, this also is a totally wrong statement. Just because anyone knows coding doesn't mean he or she can do the testing as well. Because, like I mentioned previously, testing is much more than writing scripts. It's also about identification of the scenarios and other stuff. And if you ask me frankly, there are many big product-based companies which have three, four testing teams verifying the same functionality. Forget about one developer testing the feature. There are actually three different teams sitting at three different locations, and all the three are isolated with each other, and they're testing the same functionality. So, if a product or an application such big is being tested by three, four teams, forget about developers testing his functionality. Now, let's come to the other part. Software testing prospect in terms of salary. Now, there's also a misconception that software testers are not paid well. Now, I would just request you to just log into the Glassdoor and pick any company and just compare the salary stack between a software tester and a software developer. You will find hardly any difference. So this is also a very wrong misconception that software testers are not paid well. Yes, in some case you might find a little bit difference with respect to developer, but those cases are very few. But apart from this, like if you see at a very generic level, it's almost pretty much the same. And there's also an interesting thing. There's also a profession which we call as bounty hunter, where people actually find bugs in software applications or any particular software, and they are paid handsomely for it. There are many individuals in the past who has found many critical bugs in Google, Facebook, Amazon, and almost all the top companies. And even recently, a 22-year-old girl found a bug in Microsoft, and this happened in 2021, and she got paid 22 lakhs for that particular bug. So, and her age was just 20. So all these are part of software testing only. So if you are deserving and if you have the right skill set, the salary number which you are expecting in your mind, there's no restriction to it. Now let's come to the last and the most important part. What is the future of software testing? Now the first thing which I want to start this discussion with is testing is not the same what it used to be a couple of years back. It has evolved drastically, and the reason is the amount of data which we are dealing currently is humongous. So definitely the way of testing it will also increase. And currently everything is on web. So that also is also one of the crucial factor why testing has changed so drastically. So currently, if you see software testing in today's environment doesn't mean that you should only know some scripting language and some testing concept. If you go through any current QA requirement or test automation engineer, it will be like you should be a subject matter expert of some particular domain or some particular product with some good amount of scripting in it. And this is not it. Apart from this, you should also have some other criteria like good understanding of CI/CD, basic knowledge of Linux, where you can verify the logs or where you can debug the logs. So, and for this particular topic, I have a dedicated video. I will just mention the link for the same in my description below. You can just go through that. So that will give you an overall picture like what are the trending things or skills which a test automation engineer should have. So this was all about the career prospect of software testing. Now, if you have to take my final verdict, what's the career prospect of software testing? So I would just like to say that you take, like if you are thinking from any perspective, like if you are thinking from job stability perspective, if you are thinking from package perspective or some given XYZ number perspective, or any criteria, software testing is a very good option to take. And the thing is, it will continue to grow in the current scenario, where everything is moving to cloud. Requirement for cloud automation engineer or DevOps engineer is increasing day by day. There are very few good resources for this particular specific domain. Now, in some cases, ethical hacking or penetration testing is also a very good option. And this is actually the most unexplored area of testing. The sad part is like in today's era, software testing is not the first choice for any fresher. But in terms of career prospect, it's equally fruitful like data science, ML, AI, web development. But the only thing is, this is not the path which anyone wants to take. If you have to ask me, there is a job in every bracket. If you want some work-life balance, you will get a particular job in that bracket as well. If you have some XYZ number in your mind, you will get a job in that bracket also. The only thing is you should have the right skill set. No. So this was all about the software testing prospect and the few of the misleading information that was being shared. So this was all about for today's video. If you like the content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you disagree with me, kindly please send me your thoughts to the below mentioned email, or you can comment the same in the video. Will try my best to address the same question in the best suitable way. So that's all for today. See you all in my next video. Until then, keep moving, keep testing.